Where are they? Oh. So you are welcome, please. I made already the introduction.
Yes, thank you very much. Maybe let me start. Thanks for the invitation. We're happy to be here to talk about TikTok and misinformation on TikTok, or the fight against misinformation on TikTok. My name is Große. I'm working for DW. I'm especially working as an editorial lead for a pan-European project, which is called Enter, which I will present to you with some information in the next minutes. And then I will hand over to my colleague, Erika Marzano, who is our TikTok expert at DW, and she will get closer into the topic of misinformation on TikTok. I will share my screen because I prepared a presentation for you. Okay, it's not possible. Maybe the technical colleagues can share it or can give me the access to share it. Yeah, now it works. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, para. Yes, we have here the presentation, and you may go on.
Okay, so I will give you a quick introduction to the Enter project, because what's important to know is that we also we are a project for young people on social media, and we also started a TikTok channel 2 weeks ago, so it's very fresh, very new. But some basic information. So the Enter project is a pan-European social media project with partners all over Europe. Here you see France, Poland, Romania, Netherlands, Portugal, and Germany. We are the leaders of the project together with the French colleagues. And we are a social media project that is addressed towards young people in Europe. So what we do is we produce and publish social media content on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube in all these languages. So it's 6 languages at the moment. And our basic philosophy is value differences and celebrate commonalities. So that's what we want to do. We are trying to somewhat create a pan-European public sphere for young people in Europe, which means that we have a look on what's going on in the different European countries. We have a look what's going on a pan-European level. And then we're working together on content pieces to compare what's going on in the different countries, but also show best practice examples. So there's also a very big constructive approach in this Enter project, where we want to show young people in Europe that they are not alone with their worries, not alone with their problems, and that there are also people across Europe who might have the same worries and the same decisions to take in their young life. What we do is we want to find a joint angle together. So we're always talking about debates that are going on in Europe, and then we are putting them on a pan-European level. So if something is going on in Romania, we have a look on how is this problem solved in France, in Portugal, in Poland, and then we can learn from each other and also have conclusions together how this problem can be solved or how it can't be solved. We work together on adaptations, which mean we are always taking the content that we produce and we are adapting it to the different audiences that we have. So we definitely want the people in the different countries, we want to address them. And people in different countries have different interests and they have also different social media habits. So we're always taking the content and adapting it to the different audiences, not only translating, but also adapting. And what we also do is we work together on formats. So we have longer YouTube videos, for example, where we put in the point of views from different European countries on a specific topic. We talk to people, we talk to young people in Europe to have their opinion on one topic. And then you get a good overview of the different angles in Europe. So what we did lately is, as I said, that we launched a TikTok channel. And TikTok, for years now, for 2 years maybe, people told us you have to go to TikTok because it is the place where young people are. And this definitely is the case because especially in Central and Western Europe, I guess that Facebook is a bit outdated for young people. It's still a bit different in Eastern Europe. So it's also different from country to country. But TikTok definitely all over Europe, all over the world is the new platform where young people are. this is also our decision. We're always evaluating where young people are, and then we're trying to move with them. So we decided to go to TikTok. The difficult thing maybe about TikTok is, you know, when you think about TikTok, or the general opinion about TikTok is maybe that there's a lot of fun videos, fun stuff, skits. So it's not very serious. That's maybe the public opinion about TikTok if you're not so into it. And in some ways, it's also the case that it's very funny and entertaining. But on the other side, we, as a journalistic project, we of course also want to put some facts into our content. We want to have a factual basis in our content, but nevertheless, we have to reach our audience. So this is maybe the challenge on TikTok. You have to reach your audience, and the audience is on TikTok to get entertained as a first thing. There's something that Erika can go into deeper after my part. But we also try to make these information that we give to the people entertaining. So we need to find a balance between entertainment and journalism or facts. And that's what we do, or what we try to do for the last 2 weeks with our TikTok channel. I will just show you some examples and then explain what we do. So this is the first video. I hope you can hear it, otherwise I will explain it to you.
At what age young people in the EU move out? Average 26.5 yo. Earliest 19 yo. Latest 33.6 yo. In the EU, women move out earlier than men. Men 27.4 yo. Women 25.5 yo.
So in this case, was one of our first videos where you see our host talking about facts when young people in Europe move out, which is very different from country to country. So what we do, we have actual facts here that you can also find in a journalistic piece or journalistic content on other platforms. But we do it in a rather funny way. So she's there sitting, and it's the computer voice, and we have entertaining music, which is a trending music. So you always have to keep looking if you have the trend music in your videos. And this is how we do it. And we combine the facts, the journalistic basic, with some entertaining formats or the entertaining way of showing it. A second example is this one. I will just show it. So in this case, it's a funny way to show that Romanian people, especially young people, always complain that their internet is slow, but in fact, it's the 4th fastest internet in Europe. That's what we want to show with this video. It's, of course, again, entertaining and funny video, also with the music, but what we do is that we add some background information in the caption. So in the text that comes with the video, you can see it on the left side. Background, according to a global speed test, Romania has the 4th fastest fixed broadband internet in Europe. So that's what we do. So there are different ways of combining entertainment with facts. And a last example.
A record in solar and wind energy, that's what the EU has produced. Between March and September, a quarter of the EU energy was produced via these renewables. In Greece, the entire country could even be supplied with green electricity for 5 hours recently. Norway and Iceland supply themselves almost exclusively with green electricity. In Iceland, it's about 85%, partly because of the active volcanoes in the country. Although the impact of this technology is still unknown whether it's good or bad for the environment. What are your thoughts?
So this actually is a classic explainer video that we use for TikTok, but of course, again, the cuts are very fast. It has a music that's trending. Maybe the host is talking in a way that everyone should understand what he's talking about, and we again give information, or in this case, the sources in the caption. So that's actually what we always do. Try to combine entertainment with the journalism and the facts. And it's working quite well so far, because we also see that people in the comments start to discuss. We also have some funny videos where we only talk about cliches, and then the people start talking about what cliches they have about several countries in Europe, and then we can actually steer the conversation and also debunk these cliches. And this is actually a good thing about TikTok, and already a first aspect that could be used in the fight against misinformation on TikTok. And this would be the moment I hand over to my colleague Erika for more information about that.
Thank you, Patrick. I'll be sharing my screen in a second. And while I'm doing that, thank you for having me. I'm Erika from the audience development team in Deutsche Welle, and I'm a social media expert, and specifically for TikTok, I've helped opening the successful Enter TikTok account that we have just seen, and also other 8 currently within the DW departments. So let's take a step back before dealing with disinformation and misinformation on TikTok. And I'll just say why it's important to talk about this topic. So I'm speaking to a room full of teachers, so I don't need to tell you that young people, and now I'm going to quote the Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism digital news report of this year, their news habits have changed. Not only in terms of topics they're interested in, like social topics, climate change, social justice, etc., but also where they're getting their news from, both in terms of platforms like TikTok and in terms of distrust about the legacy media. So they are trying to steer away from what their parents, their grandparents, and other generations have been looking at and finding their own mediums. Now, what is TikTok? TikTok insists that it's first and foremost a short video social media entertainment platform. It has been for 2 years straight the most downloaded app in the world, currently has 1 billion users all around the world, and compared to all the other social media platforms out there, it has a younger demographics. So basically 40% of the audience there is under 18 currently. However, what is TikTok being used as? So the digital news report has showed that almost half of the young people there use the app as the main platform for news. And also it's increasingly becoming an alternative search engine. So no longer Google, Yahoo, or whatever other search engine, but TikTok is the first app young people go to research over a number of topics, not only news. However, a recent study has also showed that around 20% of the videos published on TikTok contain misinformation or disinformation, or are just fake news, especially about popular news stories that are current out there. And we all know that young people might be at a higher risk of believing this misinformation and disinformation and unproven conspiracies online. So I have split 3 methods in order to combat disinformation on TikTok. One proposed by TikTok itself, one what the newsrooms can do, so us, legacy media, and one what the teachers can do in order to help their pupils not to fall into the conspiracy black hole on TikTok. First, what is TikTok doing? So the app has recently taken some measures against misleading information. For example, ahead of the midterm elections of next month in the US. So it has created a hub every time someone publishes a video about this topic. The TikTok algorithm immediately recognizes it and can flag misinformation, disinformation in the video, and has a link that leads to the hub with official information. Similarly, it had partnered with the World Health Organization during the spread of COVID-19 misinformation and also vaccine misinformation. Every time someone publishes a video containing the word, the topic, written, spoken, hashtag COVID-19, there is a link that leads to official information. Other than these links that are approved by TikTok itself, no links are allowed within videos. So they are trying to curb the risk of going on websites that could be detrimental, that could contain conspiracies, and etc. And very recently, it has partnered with various associations. I've read last week with a new one in Australia, and this one on screen is in the US, so the National Association for Media Literacy Education, and they are trying to create and actively push on people's newsfeed, in people's apps, educational content for creators, influencers, parents, and of course for the young kids that are actively on TikTok about online safety, misinformation, how to debunk fake stories, etc., etc. But as you can see, these measures are not enough. First and foremost, the two main topics here are midterm elections in the US, so very specific, country specific, and then COVID-19 only. But what about tons of other disinformation possibilities there, and also very specific country by country? This is where news come in the pictures. So for many months, and now for other legacy media years, traditional newsrooms have avoided landing on TikTok, opening an official account, etc., because they saw the app as entertainment first. They saw the app as a dancing app, stupid content. Why are we supposed to be there? However, when newsrooms open a TikTok account and they also start talking in the TikTok language, using the right hashtags, using the right challenges, using the right faces, the right personalities, the right language, they capitalize on the same dynamic that make TikTok influencers so popular, and they can establish standards and editorial processes within TikTok. So if they become the main news source for the kids that check the news on TikTok, these news are objectively true, they are checked, and etc., etc. So if TikTok audiences go onto newsrooms pages rather than influencers or users that don't really have any authority in dealing with the news, they might learn the real news. Second, also show the processes at work and even explain a lot of established news media like the Washington Post, which was the first ever media to open a TikTok account, also show the behind the scenes of the news. How does a new piece of news become news? How is it important to check? And this way, kids that end up watching a piece of news, they might even understand immediately what are the elements that make it recognizable as, oh yeah, that's definitely a news piece, or that's definitely this information, or maybe I should go and check a few other accounts, a few other news sources, etc., etc. I also have put a little promotion, self-promotion in here, and other than the Enter account, you can go, if you are on TikTok, and check our other DW Deutsche Welle accounts and see the work that we've been doing for the last 2 years. Now, how can you address this as teachers of kids that are probably going on TikTok to get their news, or even if they're not getting their news directly there, they might end up with news videos there. So check the app first and foremost. You need to know the app. You need to understand what is the language of the app. You need to understand the style. Patrick said very quick cuts, very entertaining and funny, but it can contain information, etc. So just go, open your account and scroll through and see if you can recognize what are those accounts that seem more reliable and those that are not. And teach your students about, this is funny, the CRAP test. CRAP stands for Currency, Relevance, Authority, Accuracy, and Purpose. Basically a test, whenever you come across a piece of information, you need to check the timeliness of the information. So when was this posted? Relevance, is this relevant about the whole topic and discourse around this piece of news, or is this a plus that doesn't need to fit in any piece of the puzzle? Authority, the source of information. Again, more and more newsrooms are opening TikTok accounts, so maybe better to check on the same topic these newsrooms rather than random users. Accuracy. It needs to be reliable, so maybe double check on other platforms, on other accounts. Is this true? Is this not true? Finally, purpose. So the reason this information exists. Is it maybe to increase the engagement or the views of one side or another side, or is it just neutral? It's a piece of content that needs to be known. And finally, encourage them to search for an article. Yes, checking TikTok videos might be fun, might be a hobby and less time consuming, but still, if you're interested in a piece of news, even if you watched tons of videos on TikTok, go on a real search engine and search for the news. Go on, maybe you saw a Washington Post, a Deutsche Welle video about this topic. They must have an article matching the topic. Go on their website and just search for the articles and you will find it. I want to leave you now with a video created by Now This, which is a media outlet, another very successful media outlet on TikTok, on how to debunk and recognize misinformation on TikTok. It's just a minute, but I need to go on the right spot.
In case you're not familiar, TikTok's already a hotbed of misinformation around COVID-19, sex trafficking scams, and faulty financial advice specifically targeting young people. It's gotten so bad that TikTok has pledged to crack down and changed its policies around misinformation in 2021. But here's the thing, like many other platforms, TikTok relies on a user flagging system to crack down on misinformation, and it'll only take down content perceived to be harmful. Other apps that are seeing a surge in viral misinformation around Ukraine, like Twitter and Reddit, have similar policies. But if the social platforms aren't doing their job, then who is? Sadly, friend, that's you. It'll be up to you to debunk viral misinformation before it spreads. Here's the SIFT methodology for debunking viral misinformation, popularized by Mike Caulfield. Number 1, stop. As soon as you see a post that makes you feel any kind of emotion, take a break. Stop, walk away. Number 2, investigate. After you've taken a break, come back to the source and investigate. Are they a trustworthy source? Number 3, find trusted sources. See if the material has been picked up by a trusted org, although misinformation happens there too. Number 4, trace the claims. You can Google reverse image source, and also if it's a video, look for the full version in context. That's it.
Thank you, and I welcome any question.
Yes, thank you. It was very interesting, and I think that we are definitely going to take with us this crop method. I have this question that how your own these Deutsche Welle TikTok accounts are performing.
So that's very interesting questions. We have accounts in various languages and also topics. For example, lifestyle and culture, environment, and then languages, Indonesia, Arabic, etc. So it really depends on the market there. We have predominantly news one based in our correspondence office in Nigeria, and whenever we have funny angle news, yes, performs well. Whenever the news is like hard news, I'm just giving you that we see it's not performing very well, and this makes us wonder, we should diversify the content or we should stick with the old formula of, yes, this is a funny content, and not everything can be said on TikTok. Not everything can be a piece of information. So I would say really depends.
Okay, thank you very much. Unfortunately, time is pressing on us and we have to leave you, but thank you for this very interesting presentation. Definitely TikTok is with us for coming years, and we need to deal with all that.